Hello, you are watching Tender News. Almost 3 years have passed since the moment power had changed hands in Ukraine. The presidency of Viktor Yanukovych and the governing of Mykola Azarov was marked by a large number of corruption scandals. After their appearance in the press, they passed unnoticed and unpunished. Ukrainian law enforcement ignored them. However, in their unlawful activities, officials sometimes went beyond Ukraine's boundaries. The first criminal case involving an investigation into the activities of government officials from the Party of Regions has been launched in Latvia. This Latvian police wrote in a letter to TVI. The legalization of crime proceeds. This is how Latvians qualify the purchase of an oil rig through a Latvian-British offshore intermediary firm. The $400 million that the state Ukrainian company Chornomornaftogaz transferred to the account of the company Highway Investments in Latvia's Trastakomertsbanka is money derived from illegal transactions, suspects the Latvian police. Ukrainian prosecutors continue to insist that the procurement won by the fictitious firm was conducted in accordance with the law. However, our prosecutors cannot remain silent much longer. Latvia and Ukraine have an agreement on legal assistance. If Latvia launches a criminal case against a Ukrainian citizen and asks Ukraine for help, the Ukrainian prosecutors are automatically obliged to initiate investigation of this criminal case. And even if these persons in Ukraine are found not guilty, Latvia may push further and send requests to other countries for the transfer of the defendants in the case to the custody of the Latvian police. The suspects in the rig case will think twice before leaving Ukraine. Exclusive details of the Latvian investigation are in our next piece. In 2011, the Ukrainian Chornomornaftogaz acquired a Singaporean-made oil rig not directly from the Keppel plant, but through an allegedly British dummy firm Highway Investments. This increased the rig's price from $250 to $400 million. The huge price difference, in fact, the damage to the Ukrainian budget, settled on the accounts of the company Highway. How is Latvia involved? First, the company Highway was established in Riga. We visited the office of this supermarket that stamps offshore firms on orders from dealers from different countries. The entirely fictitious company Highway was created here, and the Ukrainian Chornomornaftogaz picked it as a winner of the procurement and transferred $400 million to its accounts. Despite the apparent sham, our officials still insist that the company is real. They even invented data that the company employs a staff of experts in drilling rigs, led by the Latvians Stan Gorin and Eric Vanagels. However, the Latvian police have long been aware that these are just dummy persons with dozens of offshore companies registered in their names.
They were the frontmen, not real persons. That's why they hid them, or they were just homeless. These people were not involved in any real business activities. None at all. This was all fiction, so to speak.
Second, Chornomornaftogaz transferred the Ukrainian $400 million for the rig to Latvia, to Highway's account at Trastakomertsbanka. What a surprising coincidence! This financial institution is in the business orbit of the Rosukreenergo Group of Ivan Fursin and Dmitro Firtash, which also includes the oil and gas minister Yuri Boyko. The Latvian law enforcers did not like this at all. Their membership in the European Union requires them to fight against dealers from different, mostly post-Soviet countries who launder black and grey money through Latvia's developed banking system. The Latvian state police sees signs of money laundering in the Ukrainian case. This is evidenced by the agency's response to the request by TVI.
Concerning the fact of purchase by the Ukrainian enterprise Chornomornaftogaz of a drilling floating unit, which took place on March 1, 2011 and May 16, 2012, the Economic Crime Department of the General Directorate of the State Criminal Police of Latvia considers this a fact of the legalization of criminal and has launched criminal proceedings under Part 3 of Article 195 of the Penal Code of the Republic of Latvia.
Let's take a look at Latvia's penal code. What is incriminated and threat do the organizers of the scam face from the Baltic law enforcers?
Legalization of funds and assets of crime. The legalization of crime proceeds in violation statutory requirements of the knowledge of crime when acquiring funds or property. Part 3. The same action in large amounts or by an organized group shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term of 5 to 12 years, with confiscation of property and police surveillance for up to 3 years or without.
The Latvian police suspect that the Ukrainian money for the rig which turned up on highways account in the Latvian bank were obtained illegally. At this point, the case has been launched on money laundering and not against specific individuals. The investigators have not revealed the names of the defendants in the case. However, we have learned some interesting details. The investigation is in full swing. The purpose of the law enforcers is to find the beneficiary who is behind the firm's account, the one who implemented the scam to pocket the $150 million kickback from Ukrainian government money. For this purpose, the Latvian police arrested the account. The head of operations at the first section of the Directorate for Combating Economic Crimes lifted the curtain for us on the details of the investigation.
Yes, the criminal procedures in Latvia provide for the seizure of accounts, and in this case the customer certainly cannot do anything or operate with his account. We have launched these proceedings.
And now your task is to trace where the money came from and where it may have already gone to.
Yes.
Did the crime occur the moment the money was deposited at Trastakomertsbanka?
Yes.
It's quite possible that highways account holders have long ago transferred the kickback to other firms without waiting on the arrest of the accounts at Trastakomertsbanka. Now it's interesting whether the Latvian police will trace where and who received the Ukrainian state money. It's no surprise that the law enforcers have a lot of questions to the Ukrainian officials who had organized the procurement. They have asked the Ukrainian prosecutors to question them.
We need to question Ukrainian citizens. You know, we cannot invite them forcefully. In case they decline, this will be done through legal aid. We have already asked for help from Ukraine and we are waiting for a response. Such legal aid involves questioning or an investigation on Ukraine's territory.
The Latvian investigators did not specify the status of the Ukrainian officials in the case, whether they are witnesses or defendants. However, we know there is considerable evidence that the procurement for the supply of the rig in 2011 was played fictitiously by oil and gas officials. Two interconnected false companies took part in the procurement, and the British-Latvian website of the winning company Highway is for some reason hosted, registered in Ukraine. Who created it to take part in and win in the Ukrainian procurement? Who opened its accounts at a bank connected with the business group of Minister Yuri Boyko? The Latvian police is currently looking answers to these questions, among others. A special service that monitors suspicious transactions suspects money laundering through the Latvian bank in the case of the rig. Its head told us that it makes no difference whether the crime was committed by Latvians or citizens of any other country. If the court proves their guilt, they will be arrested and imprisoned.
It doesn't matter who concluded this activity, a resident or non-resident. If it was done here in Latvia, the case will be investigated and the matter will be solved. We'll ask for the extradition of this foreign citizen. This will be the result of the investigation.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian officials continue to strengthen Ukraine's energy independence. They have bought 2 new rigs. This time they were more disciplined. Recently, the factory couple got a direct contract for the construction of 2 drilling platforms from Ukraine, without any intermediaries. Officials demonstrate that this time they did everything according to the law, as if in contrast to the first scandalous procurement.
The main thing is that we are very pleased that we have gained the trust of the company which manufactures these rigs, and they have approached us. Not through an intermediary, when we lose a lot of money, but the manufacturing company. We are honored to work with Naftogaz again and build equipment whose operation is so important to your company.
Despite the fact that this is a loss for the Ukrainian budget, the fate of our public money worries Latvian and British law enforcement more than ours. The prolonged silence of the Ukrainian prosecutors is obscenely eloquent.